What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel, check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on this recent turn of events. Paige Bueckers, they voted Paige Bueckers to all NBA, making an all NBA, WNBA team over Aliyah Boston, right? And that has upset not only Candace Parker, but it upset a lot of people. But I want to talk about Candace Parker. Like she really is not really feeling this decision. She said, I don't have the article right now pulled up because I'm just a quick video, but she really said this is not the way she thought that it would turn out to be. And a lot of people share her sentiments, over how in the world could you vote Paige Bueckers on an all NBA, all WNBA, all NBA team, right? And not have Aliyah Boston on there. I don't get that. You talking about Aliyah Boston has been in the league for 3 years. Every year, Aliyah Boston has improved. See, she really playing, like this year, she really doing good this year, right? Even though I think her numbers have dropped a little bit without Caitlin Clark, for the assist, but she's still been able to elevate her game. I think it would have been elevated a little bit more had she had like that, like I said, the assistance of Caitlin Clark. But with that being said, man, I think that she deserved to be on that all WNBA team. I can't understand why. Now, I, don't get me, and I'm a fan of Paige Bueckers, and I think that Paige deserved Rookie of the Year over what's the young lady for the Mystics? I forgot her name, right? But anyway, she definitely deserved Rookie of the Year. But no way, I don't think that Paige Bueckers had a more impactful season than Aliyah Boston. Even Aliyah Boston is not like the premier player on her team, but that don't matter. She still had a better season to me, a more impactful season for the Fever than Paige did for the Wings. So and I don't know like what the criteria is. I don't know how they decide like who makes this all WNBA team, but it's just crazy. And I can see why Candace Parker would be shocked and outraged at this decision. Like I said, it's crazy. You talk about you have Aliyah Boston, their team is in the playoffs. They just now, they upset the Atlanta Dream, right? They upset the Atlanta Dream in the playoffs in the first round. So they moving on. They getting ready to face the Las Vegas Aces. So now voting like that would be the same thing if if when Kyle Kuzma was playing with the Washington Wizards and he would have won that award like all first team all NBA playing with the Wizards. The Wizards are usually at the bottom of the league as far as winning and in most statistics, right? So nobody wouldn't take that seriously, man. With if Kyle Kuzma, or even Bradley Beal, like when Bradley Beal was with the Wizards, like, and he had respect around the league, but somebody, like he was scoring when he was with the Wizards. Somebody got to score. So are you telling me that whoever's like the best scorer on your team, like they qualified to be, that's the only criteria? Like they're qualified to be all NBA? Then if that was the case, you would have guys on the sorriest teams in the NBA making first team, all NBA first team every year. But they don't do that because they know that, just because you score a lot of baskets on a sorry team, it's not as impactful if you score with a winning team. And that's what Aliyah Boston did, right? She she had a big impact on a team that is now in the playoffs. Whereas though you have Paige Bueckers, who had she had a big impact on her team, but her team is at the bottom of the league. You know, like the Wings, they're like one of the worst teams record wise with in the league. So I didn't get that. I think in the if she's winning these kind of awards now, just imagine what she's gonna win when they, like if they start winning. Because I think they got a good team. I just think that they're young and they probably need another piece or two, and their team will be right at the top with the rest of these teams. With some of the better teams in the league. But not this year. Not this year. If she can have that same type of impact on a team that is winning and a team that's at the top of the league, then I can say, okay, yeah, wow, she's deserving of that award. And I can see you know, um, why she got that she won that accolade, right? But her team is at the bottom of the league. They didn't even make the play, they didn't even come close to making the playoffs. So, rookie of the year, all WNBA, that to me, I'm team Candace on this one, right? Because yeah, it is I can't see how. And like I said, I'm a fan of Paige Bueckers. I like her game. I think she can shoot the three. She's pretty good at the three. I like her mid-range game. She's solid on defense, but and I think as she get to learn this game, I think she'll be even better. But I do think that the rookie of the year, I thought she deserved that. I thought throughout the season, like she just balled out throughout the season. But she also had to be able to affect winning. And so the numbers that she put up did not affect winning, and I know that like she's only one person, but you still on a team that's not winning. Like if she could have carried her team to an above 500 record, then that would have been she would have a little bit more room for arguments, like the stats that Aliyah Boston have now. And then if the Wings had won more and been able to get close to making the playoffs or even made it into the playoffs, then you could say, oh, okay, wow, for a rookie, that's impressive. Rookie of the year and all WNBA, that's impressive. That's more, you that's something that you can see happening, but not being at the bottom of the league, and she got good stats and stuff like that. She's not really, she proved that she can play at this level very well. She can play very well at this level. But now her next thing is to prove that she can affect winning. She getting the stats, she getting the points. But if in a year or two, if she's still putting up numbers and they not winning, then what does it mean? Does that mean that she'll still be able to win, you know, um, get all these accolades and all she's doing is putting up stats? I don't think that's gonna fly. I think this year, I think Aliyah Boston got snubbed. I think she got snubbed. And yeah, man, I'm team Candace all the way. I can't believe that this young lady is all WNBA rookie. See, with the Rookie of the Year award, you just got to go out there and show as a rookie that that number one, that you can play at this level and you could perform at a high level with the best of these, the best of the best. And she proved that. She proved um Paige Bueckers proved that she belong in the league. Not only does she belong in the league, that she can get her buckets and you know, she can play with these girls. But she didn't prove that she can affect winning. She didn't prove that she can, that like she can contribute in a big way to a team that's winning because her team didn't win. So, and you can even argue that some of her points was just like empty calories, because you losing. You lost a lot more games than you won, but that wasn't the case with Aliyah Boston. So even though I dig Paige Bueckers, man, I think I felt like Aliyah Boston should have won that over Paige Bueckers, you know, and yeah. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I will check you all out in the next video.